All right, my next guest picked up a round one KO at NEF 44 over Cam Hoyt. And of course, it is Cody Kilton on the show. Cody, how are you?
I'm good, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good, man. And you and quite a few other fighters on the night looked fantastic. You got in and out of there quick, didn't take any damage. So I got to imagine you're feeling pretty good.
Feeling great, man. Just looking for the next one, honestly. Like, it was great, soak up the moment, whatnot, but I don't want to get caught up in it too much. I want to keep hungry and just get after it, get right back to training and just stay busy.
So your opponent, Cam, he was making his amateur debut. Not a lot of tape to go on to know, what kind of a fighter he is. How difficult is that to prepare for someone that you really know nothing about?
Honestly, I don't really watch much tape on my opponents. Like, even Brandon, my first opponent, I didn't really watch much tape. I let my coaches handle all that. And I just train, man. I train all around, and I just try to get better at all aspects of the game. Because realistically, you don't know. Like, you can watch tape on someone from 6 months ago, 2 months ago. It's really not doing them any justice, or yourself. I like to just game plan around getting in there, and if something doesn't go my way, I'm ready for the next plan.
You dropped your debut to Brandon Vera, who just fought for the title same night here at NEF 44. Did you feel any added pressure to go in there and really get a win here? I mean, I know it's the amateur ranks, and what really matters is when you get to the pros, but did you feel that pressure coming in at NEF 44?
I wouldn't really call it pressure as much as it was I was just real hungry for that win. I wanted it for me. I wanted it for my coaches, my family, just to show that one, not that it was a fluke, because obviously Brandon caught me and he did his job. He caught me and knocked me out. So can't take the win back from him. But I will say that I kind of lost where I was going with that. I just say that it was more so just hungry to prove to everyone that I belong here and that I'm looking to move forward with my career and get some more wins under my belt.
How did you like the venue and everything that you had to do to get ready leading up to making your walk down to the cage?
Honestly, man, it was pretty great. Matt and Nick did a great job with that venue, I believe, putting it together for what it was. It was a pretty hot place, I think. It was pretty hot. Other than that, though, it was nice, really nothing different about it. It kind of felt like our gym because it was just open, kind of hot. That's what we're used to training in anyway. But again, they did a great job setting that venue up for what it was. So I can't take anything from them. And then warming up, I mean, it was kind of awkward because out back you didn't have anywhere to like change or anything like that. So you just kind of had to make do. But all in all, I thought it was a great venue.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people there for the fight night as well. Did you guys have a lot of fans, or just you personally? Were there a lot of people there in attendance to support you?
Yeah, I mean, I had probably 35 fans there that had bought tickets for me personally. And, I had a bunch of different friends that bought tickets from other people or just bought them online and showed up late and stuff like that. So I probably had like 50, 60 people there just watching and cheering me on. So it was pretty great.
That's fantastic. That's always got to make it even sweeter when you get the win and you do it in impressive fashion like you did. So again, not a whole lot to dissect as far as in the cage action, but I mean, what's the takeaway from this fight? How did you feel in there? Did your coaches like everything that you did, or is there any critiques that they had for you?
I mean, there's always critiques. There's always going back to the drawing board and just working on little adjustments and mistakes. And I mean, we're amateurs, you know what I mean? Like, we're not pros, and even pros have more to work on. And about the time you think you don't, you probably shouldn't even fight anymore. So I would think we had a game plan going into that fight, and we executed exactly how we wanted to go. Come in, see what he was going to do with strikes, stay on my horse, keep my arms up, and just go for the takedown, get him down and work position. Once I found the position and I felt comfortable, I transitioned into mount and found the position again, waited for him to settle in, and I just rained down everything I could do. So gave him everything.
How did it feel to get that first official win, man? It must have felt pretty good.
It was electrifying. I can't even explain it to you. Best feeling ever. My fiance was there, my brand new baby boy was there, so it felt really, really good to get that win. And all the time that I spent away from home, and my fiance and my baby and all that, working full time and then spending every night in the gym. So it's a lot.
Yeah, tell me about that balance. I always find that fascinating because we all have busy lives. What does a normal day, a normal week look like for you as you're in fight camp?
I mean, so I get to work usually around 7. I get out around 5. I try to go home and spend at least an hour at home with my better half and the baby, just helping out and doing what I can. And then I get ready and I go to the gym. So roughly 4 nights a week, I go to the gym for 3 hours a night. So I'll be at the gym from 6 to 9 at times. And thankfully, I have a better half that supports everything that I do, pretty much wipes my butt for me, as far as doing the laundry and cooking and cleaning and, taking care of, we got 2 dogs at home, so she takes care of them and the baby and herself. So it's definitely good having that support system at home. It makes it a lot easier and a lot less stressful to continue training as hard as I can and get the wins. And even if you don't get the win, you train as hard as you can to get the win. So, and we got it this time.
No doubt. You got to tell me a little bit what dad life is like, because I'm getting married in October, less than 2 months now, and she wants a kid right out of the gate, man. So this will be my first. How difficult was that, to get adjusted to having to take care of a human being, and having them rely on you completely?
Honestly, dude, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I wouldn't say you're ready because no one's really ready. But instinctually I was ready, and it really didn't change much. For me personally, I just changed my schedule as far as trying to be home for that hour before training, and spend as much time as I can on the weekends with them and stuff like that. It didn't really change anything for me. It made me more instinctual, I think, more of a protection feeling. Um, that's about it. I mean, you think you love something, but you don't love anything until you witness that baby come into this world. It changes you as an individual. So
That's what I hear, man. I have a bunch of emotions thinking about, when that comes. I'm sure it's going to be, fantastic whenever that does come for me. Congratulations on all your personal success. It sounds like life is going very well for you. I did want to ask you too, how did you find mixed martial arts? Like, what is your background in combat sports?
So when I was about 11 or 12, I started actually at Dragonfire Martial Arts, where Razz Hilton fights out of. Um, and that was the first place that I started training, and I just started doing karate there and a little bit of ground stuff. And I stopped training there around 14, 15 years old, and I found First Class MMA through Razz actually, and Andy Campbell. I got in there, and then he was like, "Oh, First Class, you'll love it up there. You got to come check it out. We do a lot of jujitsu, and just we train all around. So it's not just like you'll get one style of fighting like here." So we went up, and I was hooked, man. I just, that was like 6 years ago. So I've been training collectively probably 4 years there, just off and on for the first 2 years, and I've just been hard at it. And John Reyes and the whole First Class family, it's awesome.
Yeah, oh, for sure. You got a bunch of great people around you, and I know Raz pretty well. He's literally one of the nicest human beings on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Have you got a chance to talk to him after the win?
Yes, I did. So we are actually really, really close. Razz is like family to me. Like I said, he got me into MMA, and he's backed me since day one. And he video chatted me Saturday right before the fights when I was sitting in the hotel room, and basically just gave me, a pep talk and just basically reassured me that all my hard work was going to pay off if I stuck to my game plan. And yeah, and then we touched base after, literally right after the win. Janice came over and he was on the phone and he was all up in arms and excited about it. So
That's fantastic. Yeah, again, he's such a good dude. I did want to ask you too. I mean, after the win, did you guys get a chance to just kind of kick back and watch the rest of the fights? And what was your overall takeaway? Who really stood out to you at NEF 44?
oh man, there was a lot of great fights that night. I would have to say my own teammate, just because he's my teammate and we're family and I got a lot of respect for him. Um, Ryan Savage. He might not have gotten the W that night, but he put in a lot of hard work that camp, and they had a slugfest till the end. Very technical. I can't say enough good things about him. Just keep an eye out, man, because he's gonna come back with a vengeance and he's gonna get that W. So
yeah, that was a very, very good fight. What did you think of the new featherweight AMI champion? He looks really, really good against Fevens there in that title fight.
yeah. Nate, I can't say enough good things about him, man. He's a great guy. We've had different run-ins and conversations and stuff like that at weigh-ins for this previous fight, and even before the fights and after the fights. I couldn't be happier for him. He deserves that belt. He put in all the work. He's been fighting, went to Florida twice, stuff like that. I've been following him. So we were actually matched up for a fight, and I hurt my knee, and he fought my teammate, Justin Kangas. And so we were slated to fight, but it didn't happen. And, it is what it is. I think we're pretty good friends now. And I would imagine that he's probably going to go pro before we have an opportunity to go in the cage together. He's 4-0. He's got that belt. I would imagine he's going to try to get another belt or at least defend that one. And then he'll probably be pro before I get enough wins to go for it.
Are you hoping to get a rematch with Brandon?
Man, I've been thinking about it, and I really would like that rematch. I like Brandon as an individual, and we're friends on Facebook. We keep in touch. We talk, stuff like that. It'd be nothing personal, all business. But I would like to prove to everyone and myself that, again, it wasn't a fluke. He caught me behind the ear. I made a mistake getting up from the ground, and he made up for it, and he knocked me out. So I think it would be a much more interesting fight this time. The jitters are gone. I got in there, and I got my win. So I think now it would be a much more interesting fight.
I'm sure a lot of MMA fans here in the New England area would love to see that rematch at some point soon. I'm sure Matt Peterson will be licking his chops maybe to make that when the right time comes. I do want to ask you too about Mike Bezanson, the new 170-pound champ against Duncan Smith. I was really intrigued about that fight, and man, that guy's got a lot of power in his hands. I mean, how good do you think he can be?
Yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit for anyone that puts in the work. You know what I mean? And from what I've seen, he puts in the work every day, and that's not taking anything away from Duncan. Duncan's a great dude. He's a hard worker. I'd say one of the hardest working guys out there as far as the MMA scene goes. I mean, he's constantly in the gym, and he's a positive person. He hasn't been really down on himself. He's been posting some positive stuff, thanking people, stuff like that. So he's going to come back too. And I think, we might see them fight again as pros. And that would be really interesting.
Very much so. Did you hear the music that Duncan came out to? Were you as creeped out as me? No one is talking about this. It literally was. I mean, I'm sitting there at the cage side table doing the commentary, and I'm freaked out. I mean, it was creepy music.
Yeah, I mean, it was some battle music, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
And whatever gets you pumped, man, that's your walkout.
I gotta ask him what that was, because literally that would be like the perfect, if you're trying to scare your opponent as you're walking into the cage, that's the song that he came out to 100%. Now let's talk a little bit about First Class MMA. Like generally in camp, who are your training partners? Who are the guys that you're primarily getting most of your work in with?
Ryan Savage is one of them. One of the biggest ones is Felipe Gunter. You've seen him fight. He's electrifying, and he's been definitely one of my biggest sparring partners. So him and Ryan definitely. I've gotten some work in through my last camp with Jake Depp. That's really about it, because that's the main people right now. And anyone else that I can get work in with, really. There's a bunch of good guys there that do give me work other than the names that I just named. But those are the three that I would say I get most of my work in with, and it's very beneficial to myself. So
Tell me, what makes John Reyes such a great coach? Obviously, a lot of people know, what he accomplished as a fighter, but as far as the coaching aspect, what have you taken from learning under him?
he expects you to show up and give it your all every single day. He expects you to be there at least 4 nights a week just to fight. Like, you have to put in 4 nights a week. So there's some expectation there, but it holds you responsible to what you're supposed to be doing if you really want to fight. And he puts a family dynamic behind it, which creates a lot of respect between the fighters and himself. We watch fights when the UFC cards are on at his house. We all get together. We try to do like team dinners once in a while where we'll go out and we'll all have dinner somewhere together, just to be outside the gym and kind of create a connection there. You have to know each other. I believe it's better to have that personal connection with people that you're training with, to know them on a deeper level than just, hey, we train together. So, I mean, he's a great coach, man. He pushes the limits. He gets right in there and gets physical with you and trains with you. He teaches wrestling Wednesday nights, and he gets right into it, man, and and he's always teaching us new things and learning himself so that he can help us elevate as well. So he's a top-notch coach, man, and everyone has stuff to learn, and he keeps progressing and learning as well, which helps us. So
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tell me what that weight cut is like for you to featherweight. Have you thought about maybe fighting at another weight class, or is 145 going to be your home for the for unforeseen future?
right now, I think 145 is a good spot. It's not a big cut for me. I usually sit at like 155, 160. So that's just dieting and eating healthy. And I tried my first water cut this camp actually, and it went really, really well. So I dropped 8 pounds like nothing, and I felt great. I felt hydrated the whole time and wasn't too sucked out or anything. And it worked great. So the water cut, the cut in general is not bad. So for the foreseen future, until John or someone else comes up with a good opinion of why I should switch, weight classes, then I probably will stay at 145.
Okay, makes sense. Now, NEF 45 is going to be in Portland in November. I'm assuming you want to be on that card. And if they don't match you up with Brandon and give you that rematch, anybody else that makes sense that you feel like you'd like to get in there and tangle with?
I'm looking to challenge myself. So anyone that's going to bring the smoke and try to take me out, that's what I want. I don't want someone that's not going to do that. I want someone that's strong. I want someone that is confident, someone that's going to push my skill and push me to show everything that I've learned, maybe show a different side. So anyone that wants it really can get it. My name's in for NEF for November 5th, and my name is also in for Combat Zone for the 29th of October. So we've already got one name. I can't really disclose the name yet until either he says yes. I'm just waiting on that answer, but we do have a name for NEF, and I've already said yes because I don't say no. And we're just waiting. So
All right, man. I love it. You looked great here at NEF 44, evening your record up at 1-1 with that round 1 KO of Cam Hoyt. And I'm looking forward to seeing what is next for you, Cody. Before I do let you go, I want to give you the floor, man. I'm sure you have plenty of people to thank. If you have sponsors, give them a shout out and tell people where to follow you on social media.
Sounds good, man. So I first of all just want to thank every one of my training partners, coaches, family, anyone that had my back and just helped me get ready and stay focused for that fight. Sponsorships, someone that's been on my book since the beginning, Glenn Halliday of GH Design Co. He's been great to me. He helped me make my t-shirt design. And keep an eye out because we got a new design coming for the next one, so it should be pretty interesting. My cousin Coley's Crafty Creations for making my t-shirts and being on time with them and just making them. They came out great. Quality of t-shirts, quality of the designs on the t-shirts came out great. Another one that's been on since the beginning is the Mills Barbershop out of Westbrook. They're great. Check them out if you get a chance. They're right in Westbrook. Big Country Built, that is the company that I work for. My boss is also my landlord. He's a great guy. He's supported my fighting since the beginning, giving me days off so I could weight cut and stuff like that, just concentrate. So he's been really great. First Class Fitness and MMA, just, great gym, gave me my start and helps me get ready for every fight. So, we'll look forward to staying there and keep working hard. I do have 2 new sponsors I'd like to welcome aboard on your show. Satai CBD Soda, they're new to the region. Just came on board actually today before we talked. So we're just working out the details. Jake Media 207 on Instagram, Jacob Halliday. He's helping me set up all my social media so I can get more views and just get out there. And that's about it. My social media is on Insta is Cody Kilton MMA and Facebook is just Cody Kilton.